Amended budget. I gave them a fair amount of money to play around with. Oh, we have built a bunch of the drones. Oh, happy days. In fact, we can expand this out a little bit more. So we've got a bunch of defense drones. Restock drones, cargo drones, so we can shift cargo a lot faster. Let's bump it all the way up to 25 defense drones. Let's get more of those. So, yeah. All right, so station's doing all right. Supply budget, trade, wear budget. Okay, the station has actually started to get to a point where it's doing its own thing. Let's have a look around the system that we're in and just see what kind of trades are available in this immediate area that we're aware of. I only really want to be looking at this particular zone, though. I don't know anything about the trades over there right now. Hey, PEMDAS, thank you very much for the 18 months, buddy. And Roshan, thank you very much for the bits. How am I? I'm doing really well, mate. Okay, X4 has his claws into me. Yep. Join the club. Wait, no. What was it we were going with? That's right. I'm not locked in here with X4. X4 is locked in here with me. Yeah, we're sticking with that. All right, medical supplies. So let's have a quick gander then. Energy cells at 10. Not really buying them particularly much. Missile components. Medical supplies at 84. And selling and buying them for 89. Alright. Let's add in medical supplies to our trade hub. Confirm. Medical supplies, much like the other. Create a buy offer, but use the restriction. Oh, crap. But use the restriction of no buy orders. So basically, I'm saying that I won't allow someone to sell this to me. I will allow my trader to go and buy it, because my trader will try to buy them at the best possible price. But then I want to sell them. And sell them for whatever the basic price is. And if I've got it available, I will allow a trader to come and buy it off me. Or I will allow my trader to try and go and sell it for the best price. I don't really care as long as I'm making money. X4 is just doing its thing, but are you still being your same Avakian self? Yes. To the best of my knowledge, I am. Yeah, I'm going to say no buy orders on these. Now, question on this one. With regards to drone components, like, because this is a supply that I require, will our one trader meet that supply by itself or not? I don't know, but it's an important question. Like, because when it comes to building stuff in my factory, I need a trader assigned to the storage, the build storage, to ferry things around. Yeah, we're slowly climbing up there in terms of just getting cash. So let's have a... Ooh, actually, what was that I just saw on the map? What the heck is this? Manage plots. Inlet workforce availability bonus. Oh. Real estate transfer tax. You own this plot. Oh, this is how I get area to build stations at. I see now. I was wondering how you initiated the construction of a station. Alright, well, one big question I have then. Would it be worth my while to build my own refining station over here? If you got a chance, could you deploy a nav beacon there for me? Just so I am certain of that remaining. Because basically I've got a couple of nav beacons dotted around. These nav beacons are places where there are lockboxes. Just as my ships fly past them, I have them deploy a nav beacon, and then eventually I'm going to go through and collect them all. Alright. Where is Vanya, and what is Vanya doing? Who is your father, and what does he do? 1,000 energy. You're still going for energy. You know what? You just do you. It's fine. All right. So with 3.5 million, do you reckon we can put together a frigate for 3.5? Oh crap. What did I just move? Oh, that's the just explore. But do you reckon we would be able to put together a frigate for 3.5 million? Cash coming in. I think we might be able to do it. We're going to sink a lot of our money into this, Chad. So let's hope we can do a good job of it. Buy ships. What a medium-sized ship. Let's compare the frigate and the gunboat first. Actually, before we do that. So, ships. Combat ships. Fighters and support ships. The Cerberus Vanguard is a hull integrity 17,000. The first of the newly designed M-size support ships to reach the Federal and Republic navies, the Cerberus-class frigate is primarily designed to target and support smaller and similarly sized vessels in a defensive capacity. Notably, the Cerberus was also the first ship of its size to support a fully functioning dock for smaller ships, a massive technical challenge for its designers. This has only made it a more popular choice of ship, and saw a new design race explode throughout the Jumpgate network as other ship designers scrambled to copy the Argon's innovative design. The fact that it's got its own dock is a really interesting option, because this could be our first fleet ship, in that I could later on have a heavy fighter that docks with it to maximize its combat potential. Very well, I will have a sip of my whiskey, Renosian. Thank you for telling me to hydrate, even though this technically doesn't hydrate me. And then we've got the, was it the Minotaur Vanguard? Yes. A ship that saw much upheaval behind the scenes during the Terran conflict, when it became painfully clear to the Argon that their ships were far inferior to the Terran equivalents. The Minotaur was, over the course of the conflict, completely redesigned as a mobile weapons platform, supporting heavy weapons that deal incredible amounts of damage to similarly sized and larger, slower targets. Unfortunately, the ship was unable to be put into mass production before Crisis crippled the Argon Federation, and as a result, The new Minotaur has only recently entered service. Okay, so if it's more about dealing with medium and larger, I mean, I would cover it in flak so that it would be able to do, really mess up fighters. But with that in mind, maybe the Cerberus would be the one to go for then. There's a liquid component. Alright, well, I think for future expansion, we'll easily be able to increase the power of this frigate by simply adding a fighter at a later date. So, we're going to see what kind of price we need for a decent ship. Now, I do have one question. If there are those in chat who happen to know, I would be very, very appreciative if you could tell me, when it comes to upgrading components, so, as I've said, I don't intend to build a ship that is like bare bones components when the hull itself is already 1.2 million credits. However, it also doesn't mean I need to go for the most expensive components. If I can go mid-range, kind of make a midline ship in a way. When I then want to upgrade, let's say I had the Combat Mark II engine, and then later on I wanted a Combat Mark III engine. Would I get some compensation for swapping out the Combat Mark II? Or would I just straight up have to pay the full price for the Combat Mark IIIs? Take care, Renosian. Yes. I really should ask questions more succinctly so that a yes would actually... You get a full refund. A full refund? That they don't charge wear and tear? Like, wow, the traders in X4 are more reasonable than in most RPGs. You get some compensation, but I don't think it's full price. Okay, well, you know what? As long as it's some compensation, it's still good. So, midline engines then. In terms of its thrusters, I'm going to say midline combat thrusters, because I am going to want to be dealing with fighters. That's kind of where we're going to be with this. Shields. I very much want midline shields. We're already up to a fairly hefty amount. The weapons are really going to kick me in the face, though, I'm going to be honest. I think pulse lasers middle of the road because I don't really want to make it specialist. Turrets wise, I would like you definitely to have flak. I would like you to definitely have flak as well. I would like this one to be flak, but I'm actually not sure I want that one to be flak. I think I would prefer something a little bit more punchy on this one. So if I was dealing with a mid-sized ship, it's not just all flak all the time. I want the flak there to deal with fighters and smaller ships, but this weapon, and this weapon should be for kind of equivalent size, or at least slower, tankier small ships. Wanderer. Aavak, not to be a nosy backseater, but you know the part of the combat prowess of that ship is the dock on the top, right? Considering I brought that up a bit, yeah. I'm gonna be honest, chat, and I'm gonna flay you a little bit, Wanderer, but understand it's good humoured flaying. However. If someone has to open up a statement by saying, not to be blank, but, then you know you're about to be blank. It isn't a get out of jail free card for being blank. Not to be offensive, but, well, now I know that whatever's coming next, you fully expect to be offensive. That's why you said it. Not to be too nice, but you're a pretty good streamer. See, I like that one, Septimus. Thank you. When was your last tea break? Well, I only started an hour and a half ago. Lady Dreamwriter, you can have a look at the stream at the bottom, and you can see how long the stream has been going for. Aavak, you are correct, but I acknowledge my responsibility instead of being a total dick about it. Well, no. See, acknowledging a responsibility would be not to say not to be, but look, I know this is a bit of a dick move. I am, in fact, a dick. But blah, 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 blah. Also, backseat pass exists for a thing. If you're gonna open it with not to be a backseater, but then what you should have done is not said that and instead paid the dapper ducats to use the backseat pass and then put your backseating in the backseat pass. That's why it's there. But like I said, not actually properly flaying you. Just some good-natured flaying, you know? And just taking a couple of layers off your back. The bits that you don't use anyway. Okay. Now, I don't really know much about any of the other weapons, I'm going to be honest. So, chat, if you'd like to chime in. I don't think Shard is the one that we're going to want to go for. No worries, Lazy Dreamwriter. I was just checking because you do ask that question a lot, and I wondered if you were aware that it does actually say what the time is at the bottom of the screen, because a lot of people don't. There was no sass in that one. That was legitimately. Twitch does a poor job of advertising this. Also, it didn't used to be the case, so. Because I see a lot of people coming in and trying to use the uptime command, and it's like, you can actually just look at below the viewer, and it will tell you what the time is. Beams are fun, but loud. Fair. Time is ducats. No, I don't think Lady Dreamwriter was saying that the iPad Twitch app doesn't have the time on it, just that the small screen makes it a little bit more difficult to see. Shard batteries are amazing when in action. Oh, really? Are they good against larger ships then? I mean, because what I wanted, we've got flak for fighters, pulse weapons, you know, for doing a bit of you know, middle road Dakar. But then I was trying to work out, well, what should I put in there to be a little bit more front-facing Dakar against a you know, similar opponent sort of thing. Radio, thank you very much for continuing your gift sub. Diolch yn fawr iawn. It's good against a lot of stuff. Okay. More space? Gonna take a while to catch up if this is another 17-hour stream. I think it's safe to say Aavak is hooked. No. Been through this. I'm not hooked on X4. X4 is hooked on me. It's very clingy. It has abandonment issues, which I can sympathize with. So I don't mind. Greetings, Aavak and Dabblings. I think I'm coming down with something, not for missing the start of the stream, for having fallen unexpectedly asleep 10 hours ago, after having been asleep 4 hours prior to that, having a good 8 hours of sleep, and I'm still feeling exhausted. Yeah, you probably have come down with a little something. That is usually my litmus test. Like, I quite often, like, if the flu is going around and I caught the flu, I usually... Well, you know, when the flu's going around, I'll usually catch a cold. Occasionally, I've had the proper flu, only like twice, and it has like knocked me off my feet for about 4 or 5 days, and it's been awful. Like, and we're not talking like, oh man flu, blah blah blah. No, we're talking like doctor having to come over because I'm hallucinating through my fever levels of I am really, really sick. You know, having wild conversations with people from my past and genuinely believing that they're just at the foot of the bed and I'm having full-on fever dreams. I've only had the flu, like proper flu, twice. Usually, though, when there's something nasty going around, I'll pick something up, but I don't tend to be symptomatic of things. But I get really tired. Really tired. Like that's because I don't sleep a lot normally. And then all of a sudden I'm like, yeah, I slept for 12 hours and I don't feel bad for it. I just still feel tired though. Usually for me, if I sleep for 8 hours, I wake up with a throbbing headache. My body's like, what? You pretended to be dead so much. We thought you actually were. We started to shut down. Jesus, give us warning next time, you madman. But, you know, when I'm sick with something, it's like, yeah, I had 12 hours. I will wake up to feed, and then another 12 hours actually sounds really good. Goodbye. That's usually the most accurate symptom of I am sick with something. I'm just not expressing that my face is leaking or I'm, you know, bad throat or whatever. I'm just like, I'm so tired. So the way I've interpreted that is that my immune system is a well-oiled military machine. Once I become sick, it goes into full war mode. The garrisons are mobilized, the armor regiments. It is absolute shock and awe going on. But that's extremely expensive to maintain. The industrial war machine that is my body requires significant amount of maintenance time when that's going on. Lots of fuel, lots of sleep. Usually Twitch streamer equal well-oiled physical machine. Is this the usual thing? I see. Apparently I'm letting the side down a little bit because I'm not necessarily sure I would say that I am a well-oiled physical machine, but my immune system is definitely leading the charge. It probably pulls up the overall average by a good couple of points. Okay, anyway, we've been sat in here for ages. I want a thing, and apparently the shard cannon, pretty good. Let's have a look at this, though. Does it... pulls it down. 101, 110, 95, 135 with the plasma. Or 103. Plasma. Is plasma going to fire more? Okay, so there's another question. I could just go with the pulse turret. Well, I guess the turrets are going to be self-controlled, aren't they? So it doesn't really matter. I'm not going to be controlling the turrets. What's the kind of range of the shard? Basically, I want guns that are going to be able to engage the same sort of target that I'm fighting. At the range that I'm going to be manually engaging it. Oh, it's plasma. It mostly hits large targets because it's slow. That makes sense. That does kind of sound like it's plasma. This is how it works. What are you fighting? Capital ships go plasma? No, absolutely. I'm kind of building this more for small and maybe some mediums. Okay, so we'll go with shard then. I think that's fine. I'm going to set up the controls. The flak turret, I want to defend me. Flak turret, defend me. Flak turret, defend me. This, attack my current enemy. I want the shard turret to go after who I'm going after. That being said, maybe the shard turret should also be on defend. I don't know. I can always switch these up. Like if I'm in a fight and suddenly I realize there are lots of missiles flying, I can quickly, apparently, go in and reconfigure my turret so these two could then flip over to missile defense. Yeah, defend only fires if the enemy hits you, whereas I want this Like, if I'm in a, and I am definitely in a combat situation, I want my flak turrets to be attacking the little gnats that are buzzing around me, but I want this to go after who I'm going after. So, yeah, attack my current enemy seems like the correct choice then. Right, software-wise, we're up to $2.4 million. Flight assist, since it's going to be my flagship, I guess, going for these. I can always add a police scanner later. Target computer. I don't really feel that I need a trading computer on this ship. The flak turrets could be set to target fighters, but would they then not target anything else? Like, what I don't want to do is to show up in an area and then have all of my turrets attack my enemies when they haven't aggressed me, because they might be allies of the people that I am currently visiting. I don't want my ship to randomly engage people if I haven't started a fight. Does that make sense? I really wouldn't want my ship to instigate the combat if I wasn't looking to be in the combat. One of the things I appreciate about X4 is it enforces situational awareness in its ship's design. It's, in this case, beware of enemies. Oh, no, I know. We have no weapon systems or flak systems underneath. Don't worry, Wanderer. I do appreciate you using the backseat pass there, though. But, in fact, I guess you were here at the end of the stream, but you must have missed us talking about it. One of the nice things about the gunship is its flak can cover much larger areas, whereas this has a very vulnerable underbelly. So expect lots of combat rolls whilst we're flying around, simply to reposition my guns into a position where the things underneath me can't get away from my guns. But I do appreciate you using the backseat pass on that one, dude. Behind, I mean, this may be able to help us a little bit, but you're quite right. Just pull the nose up so that these dip down suddenly and have a firing angle on things behind me. Well, I wouldn't say that a flak turret is anti-medium craft, honestly, genre pending. I would say that a flak turret by its very nature is anti-small craft. Just dropped in a few minutes ago before taking back off. You should be able to set key bindings to swap turret controls on the go, but you can swap it at any time and is usually required in fighting. Be ready to pause as you start using more turrets. Oh, okay. Thank you very much. I'll also I'll have a look at the key bindings potential as well. Right, going to need a captain. This is actually coming in a lot lower than I was expecting. I'm really happy about this. Now, I'm not going to have Marines, because 14 Marines apparently are never going to board anything that I'm going to try and board. And also, let's go for 10 crew in total. These will help me repair. Also, I do believe that this has a drone bay. I'm going to have one cargo drone just to help me shift materials should I need to. Well, actually, do I really care? If I'm docked, I'm okay with this ship taking a while. If it was a trader, the whole point of it is to quickly move goods and get out of there. So I'm not going to worry about cargo drones. Because it's not a large ship. A large ship would need them, apparently. Maybe not, though. There's a bit of the jury's still out on that one. But defense drones, sure. And I'm really not sure how urgently necessary something like a repair drone is. One Marine can board derelict. Oh, really? Oh, flak guns in this are slow firing with splash damage when they hit. They don't have proximity fuses. Genre pending, thank you very much for that info. That's super, super useful. Okay, I'm going to take like 4 repair drones and I'm going to invest the rest into defense drones. Also going to full complement of flares. But given that, then, I will drop the service amount a little bit, and I'll just take a couple of Marines. We'll have 4 Marines on board. That leaves us a little bit of room to carry some passengers. Actually, we'll drop that down. 6 service crew, 4 Marines. Gives us 4 space for passengers. You never really want to use a Marine to board derelict ships. To capture a derelict ship, you can scan it with your spacesuit, and you can claim it that way. Oh, okay. If you use a Marine, the Marine will do massive damage to the ship to capture it. Right. Okay. That's actually super useful information. Thank you. I'll drop the Marines then for now. I don't intend to get into the boarding game, so if there's no chance that I'm going to be boarded, then there's no reason for me to have Marines on board. This is coming in at a significantly lower price than it was yesterday. I think they must have a flush of materials right now or something along those lines. Yeah, flush with materials, chat. Maybe a couple of laser towers just so I can drop them if I'm in a scrape and I'm trying to get out. And we'll pop 10 on board just to cover us. But outside of that, I don't need nav beacons. I don't use nav beacons. I have other things. Well, actually, sometimes I do because of anomalies. So let's grab 5 of those. Mostly I use satellites, though. This is not a ship that is going... Well... I'm going to take 5 as a precaution. I might need 5 for something. I could also take 5 of these, maybe. But honestly, 5 satellites. This isn't an explorer. It shouldn't be rolling with these. But, you know, if it did happen to come across an anomaly, I don't want to not drop a nav beacon just because this isn't an explorer. Likewise, if there's something I really want to keep eyes on, having a small complement of satellites will be useful for me. But the laser towers... I feel that would be especially useful for me to just deploy. Alright, I think this is going to be our ship. I think this is it, chat. Missiles are a massively important boost to your damage in a craft like this. Okay, but I'd have to grab missile launchers then instead of all my turrets. Torpedo launcher, tracking launcher. I mean, I guess, I haven't played with missiles at all. I could bring missiles along and then just have my forward turrets not be flak at all, but be combat, like more pew-pew turrets to engage my forward enemies. Honestly, at this point, it's a case of there are a few people who have very distinct styles of play in chat, who are very certain that their style of play is, well, not necessarily superior, but they're giving me advice that is more aligned to their style of play. And so in some cases, the advice is now starting to conflict. I'm not going to be able to please you all. So I'm going to just lay this out as I am not saying you're wrong if I don't take your advice. It is not a case that I don't believe you or that I'm challenging the way that you play. It's just that I'm not going to be able to please all of you at the same time. You each probably play the game in a different way, and that's a plus about the game, not anything else. That's the beauty of a game like this, is there isn't one meta. There are lots of different ways, and different people who have different reaction styles, different preferences in how they play, are going to have different ways that they engage and different ways that they have made that work for them. And it might not work for me. I might try this out with practically the exact setup that someone has suggested to me, and it works amazingly for them, and it'll feel awful for me just because that's not how my brain works. That's not how I roll with it, you know? So I think I'm going to stick with what we've got here. We're not gonna have missiles with this. But that is not a bad idea. You know, having a ship that kind of hangs back and just unleashes loads of missiles on things. That's kind of a cool idea in general. Yeah, and I can always swap out loadouts later, especially if I get back some of the cash. All right then, chat. Now, mods. Do any of you know how to activate the redemption of naming game? Also, could you clear out all the backseat classes? I have read all of them. Thank you very much for your input. I would like you to allow the redemption naming game. This one is our first combat ship, and much like our station is an important ship, so we're going to need 2 naming games. The first person to buy 2 of them gets the ship name. What? Yes, no. No help. Bilal, you don't get a no help. No help. No. Chat can no help, but Bilal cannot no help. Okay, Lady of Distrust. Is it Lottie of Distrust? Sorry. Lottie of Distrust. I kind of like that. That is actually the sort of name that you would have on something like this. I know. The O looks like an A. I do apologize for going for Lady first, but honestly, Lady of Distrust would also have been a pretty kick-ass combat ship name. I'm not going to lie. Lady of Distrust, if you don't mind. Oh, you wanted to be Lady. Oh, that's fantastic. I approve. Secretly, I think that is actually the better version. Lady of Distrust. Who dat? And what do they do? I do not listen to Streamlabs enough. And it's like, oh, what? You, who are you? Log in, please. Designed by committees, how you spend a lot of money and never get a ship. All navies learn this lesson at some point. Have a great stream. Log in. Thank you ever so much for the tip. And the actual tip. Yeah. No, I completely agree with that. Yeah. Designed by committee. No. I would rather have something that does a job somewhat okay than something that tries to do all jobs perfectly and does none of them well at all. The dispensation. They dispensationed. I see. Yeah. Both are redeemed, Bilal. All backseat passes and indeed all names now redeemed. Okay. And then later on, we're going to get a heavy fighter that we will pop on. Maybe that'll be our missile heavy fighter. And it's like, heavy fighter, stay far back and just throw missiles into the fight. I think that's a fantastic name for a what will effectively become our flagship now. Right, this is a 3 million ship. Make it so. We're probably going to want to put one of our best pilots on this one, other than Vanya. It won't be Vanya, Vanya's pilot, that is, because that would suck. We've only just got a trader who can do the tradey trades. Let us not have that. That would be bad. Right. While all of that's been going down, we've been making quite a lot of cash, it seems. Oh, you... what's up, Hellion? Let's have a look. You were trying to buy drone components, but you didn't manage to. That's fine. Also, how is Deathcrawler doing? Let's bring up your station overview. You're still waiting on drone components and smart chips. We've had... Oh, have I not told you how much you can pop in here? Medical supplies. Buy up to. You can only buy 500 medical supplies and then sell them on. Electronics. Honestly, I should probably put that down to 50. 50 is fine. 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 You will try to buy too much. Also, are we full of energy cells? Dear God, we are. We need to sell our energy. Please. Very cheap. Cheap energy. Buy now. Hey, Aavak, what's your favourite spaceship building game? I'm in a very certain... like, a spaceship building game? Specifically building? Probably... like, if you want to be really creative, Avorion. Because the opportunity to be creative in building the actual design of the hull in that game is off the charts. If you... it's kind of hard. Like, if you mean, like, building game in the sense of... like, empire management, honestly, probably this right now. Hence the 3 long streams, though this isn't a long stream yet. It remains to be seen. If you mean more in, like... colony management and more of a strategic, like 4X kind of thing, probably Stellaris. But if you coming back again to like the building and the designing of the ships and the equipping, the hard points and that kind of stuff, it's hard. There's a lot of them, but the games aren't simply that. It kind of expands out, but I would probably say if that was the main focus, and maybe a bit of fighting with it, but not quite as in depth as this, with like, you know, proper 3D, probably Star Sector. I do have a trader assigned to the station as Alpha Group, and they are currently assigned to this station itself as a trader, not to the... and I think they are actually out there doing some trades. What are they doing right now? Yeah, they're trader. Not trader for build storage. Don't even know where they are. Where are you, Hellion? You're approaching something. Also, you're carrying a lot, I think. You're carrying nothing. What are you doing? Oh. Well, you know what? I actually don't know. I don't know where you went and what you're doing, but I think they're coming. I think they went out to sell some stuff, actually. Let's have a look at their log. You found a lockbox. Oh, that was 5 hours ago. I think I can see your show transaction log. No. What were you doing then? I have no idea why they're so far away. They've got ages to get back. Vic, the boss is watching. Look like we're doing something productive. Yeah, that's pretty much what's going on. Sadly. We're still waiting on materials to be delivered to the Argon Wharf, and we might be waiting a little while. They do need quite a few... I think it was advanced electronics to build that ship. And until we get that, then we're just going to be waiting a bit. Right, how's things going down here? Unsinkable has done a bit more exploring in this sector. Do some more, please. Down here. Explore.
I'll wait for you to tell me to take off.
Take off. Alright. You are docked up. We want more resource nodes if I can get them. Got a little bit of lost overlap there, but that's fine. Doesn't need to be perfect. It does need to be perfect. I will move it later. I will pretend that I don't care right now while you're watching me, but then later on I'll load up the save and I will reposition all of these satellites so they're perfect. You know it, I know it. It's all because I can. But then, we've got satellite there. Satellite over there. I want a satellite here. Do I not? Is that not? Oh, that's not my satellite.